Well, the road's kind of cleared off of ice and snow, so I'm back to playing around with FSD Beta 10.8. And I thought I'd take it through a few little things around this area and show up what I found. It's kind of nice to be able to see all the lines coming through on the display. So many of the lines were softened or not existing when you're going on a snow-covered road. So FSD Beta also performed quite poorly to the point that I stopped doing it on snowy roads. Well, everything's just wet now, and I thought I'd take it out, and I didn't really expect any improvements because we haven't had any updates on it, but I thought I'd go over a few of the things that this thing did while I was out and about. Here we're going to come up on a roundabout. It definitely has its troubles with roundabouts. If you notice some noises behind me, we have a cat playing with something. After we come over this bridge, we're going to come up to the roundabout, and one of my problems with how this tries to deal with roundabouts, probably problems most people complain about, is that it comes up at a pretty fast speed and then it starts slowing down later than I think it should. And then it slows down and essentially stops. And then I have to hit the throttle, which I'm doing here. I had to hit it twice and kick the silly thing off because it just simply did not want to go. So, yeah, that's pretty standard that what's been happening on these roundabouts, and not real thrilled with it. Occasionally I get them to go right. I have a video that I showed it where it did it absolutely perfect, and I thought maybe it would continue to do so, but that does not seem to be the case. This next one, there's a bus up here, and it has stopped. Now, I know this thing's not going to deal with this, and I just kicked it off and went around it. Simply because you can see right there, the bus is right close to that corner, and there's a vehicle right there that is going to want to take off. Well, if I get behind that bus, I'm going to block that guy. And I know this thing is just going to go up behind the bus and then try to figure out what to do, and maybe it'll decide to go past it, but whatever it does is going to do it late. And it'll do it after the intersection, which is going to be unsafe. So anyway, that's what I did. Well, right down the street a little bit is our next little test, and that one is another roundabout. Now here you can see that car is not coming in front of me, but of course we're slowing down, and I finally just had to kick it out because it was just going to stop right in the middle of it. So not so good again. Now this one here, I'm slowing this down a little bit. I'm coming up to an intersection, and it's doing something that drives me absolutely Looney Tune when I come up to intersections. This isn't the worst one that's going to be in this video, but I'm coming up to this corner, and it's traveling far too fast. I don't use the brakes on my electric car. I haven't used a brake since, well, the Bolt was pretty good. It didn't have bad brakes on it, but I use regenerative braking. This thing's not using regenerative braking hardly at all. So here we are coming up to this thing, and it's finally slowing down, but it's way too late. Okay, now we've got some, it's rolling forward a little bit for visibility, I assume. It tends to do this an awful lot. And there's plenty of visibility both ways. And we've got crossing traffic. Well, it's going to do something here that kind of scared me. And I've had problems with this intersection before. See, it moved forward and moved forward again. Now I just shut it off right there because that truck was coming. It was going to go right through there, and maybe it would have stopped, but I can't trust it that far. It looked like it was going to accelerate. Now I'm in control of it here, so you can blame me for anything that happens here. Now up this way, this one, it's another corner, and it has that pet peeve of mine about full self-driving that just drives me Looney Tune. I'm going to come up to this road, and I'm going to be making a left turn onto it. Now, this road's just wet, so it's not too bad. I'm going about 35, and I'm going to come up there, and there's slush on the road, which is going to mean I should slow down more than normal. But this thing is still flying along at 34 miles an hour. Look at this. It's at 34 miles an hour, and the intersection is right there. And so I've got it slowed down a whole bunch here. And it's starting to try to make the turn. And it's still going 30 miles an hour. I can't make a turn like that at 30 miles an hour. I dropped it out and nailed the brakes and got it to slow down and made my turn. But this is just Looney Tune. This should be well past this stuff. Because it should be, maybe it couldn't recognize the turn, but, the navigation recognized the turn was coming up. So I don't know. I just don't know what's going on there, and it does not inspire confidence when it does things like that. Anyway, that's my drive. This drive here does not work well with FSD here. It gets a little freaky because it can't see the sides of the road even yet. So anyway, that's all on this one, guys.